Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. WWE Survivor Series War Games 2024 is just over a month away, and it's arguably the most anticipated edition of the PLE in the Triple H era. The Vancouver show will see some of the year's biggest stories climax inside the iconic two-ring steel structure, along with other epic matches. As the final PLE of 2024, it will be an excellent opportunity for Triple H and company to end the year on a high. As the Stamford-based promotion approaches Crown Jewel, it also has one eye on Survivor Series, whose potential lineup is beginning to take shape. Several storylines could make the card on November 30th, getting the chance to thrill a packed Rogers Arena. So, which matches will be featured at the iconic Big Four event in British Columbia? The full match card prediction for WWE Survivor Series War Games 2024 is here. Tiffany Stratton vs. Nia Jax for the WWE Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax are currently involved in a ticking time bomb storyline, revolving around the WWE Women's Championship. With the latter holding the title and Stratton being the current Ms. Money in the Bank, the duo is on an inevitable collision course. The center of the universe's cash-in has been teased repeatedly, and she may finally pull the trigger at Crown Jewel. Should Stratton take advantage of the champion versus champion match to take her shot, the irresistible force will seek a rematch. This could be granted at Survivor Series, allowing the former NXT champion to defend her newly won title on a big PLE successfully. This would be a satisfying conclusion to the months-long storyline between the pair. The arena lights dimmed as the crowd buzzed in anticipation, their excitement swelling for the upcoming WWE Women's Championship match. It wasn't just any match, it was the young and dazzling Tiffany Stratton, the reigning women's champion, defending her title against the behemoth force that is Nia Jax. The match was a clash of styles, contrasting Stratton's finesse and agility with Jax's raw power and sheer dominance. Tiffany Stratton, the Golden Girl Tiffany Stratton, had made quite the name for herself over the past year. With her athletic prowess, sharp in-ring skills, and a glamorous persona that drew both admiration and ire, she quickly climbed the ranks of WWE's women's division. She captured the Women's Championship in a thrilling contest months ago, and since then, she's fended off all challengers with confidence and poise. Stratton's success came from her strategic wrestling style, using her speed and gymnastic background to evade her opponents and hit them with perfectly timed offense. But this match against Nia Jax posed a different kind of threat. Nia was not like any of Stratton's previous challengers. She wasn't someone Tiffany could outmaneuver with flashy tricks or high-flying moves. Nia was a powerhouse, a woman who thrived on brute strength and aggression. Yet Tiffany knew if she could play smart, exploit Nia's weaknesses, and stick to her game plan, she could leave the arena still clutching her title. Nia Jax, the unstoppable force. Nia Jax had returned to WWE with one mission: reclaim dominance in the women's division. Known as the Irresistible Force, Nia had long been a dominant presence in WWE, crushing her opponents with ease. After a brief hiatus, she returned, more determined than ever to prove that she was still the most dangerous woman in WWE. Her path led her straight to Tiffany Stratton, and after weeks of intimidating the champion, the showdown was inevitable. Jax made it clear that she respected Stratton's rise, but promised that her reign would come to a brutal end. "You're not strong enough to stand toe-to-toe with me, Tiffany. That title? It belongs to me," Nia declared during the contract signing, leaving Stratton fuming but unfazed. The battle begins as Nia Jax's music hit. The crowd roared in anticipation. Jax emerged, her imposing figure casting a shadow across the ramp. She moved with purpose, knowing that tonight was her night to reclaim glory. The champion, Tiffany Stratton, followed shortly after, her entrance filled with confidence and glamour. Despite the daunting task ahead, she strutted to the ring with her signature poise, her WWE Women's Championship shining around her waist. The match began with a cautious stare down. Nia Jax smirked, almost amused by the size difference between her and Stratton. But Tiffany was not backing down. She knew Nia's game plan, to overpower her early and dominate, but she had prepared for this. The bell rang, and the match was on. Nia immediately charged, attempting to grab Tiffany and assert her dominance from the start. But Stratton was quick, ducking underneath Jax's arms and delivering a swift kick to Nia's legs. She had studied Nia's previous matches and knew that slowing down Jax's movement was the key. Stratton kept her distance, landing calculated strikes on Nia's legs and midsection, trying to chop down the giant. But Jax was no stranger to taking hits. She shrugged off Tiffany's early offense and eventually caught her with a thunderous clothesline that sent the champion crashing to the mat. The impact reverberated throughout the arena as the crowd gasped, knowing the force behind that move. Nia dragged Tiffany to the corner, delivering punishing shoulder thrusts into her abdomen. The size difference was clear. Nia towered over Tiffany, using her power to wear down the smaller champion. Tiffany's fight for survival. Tiffany struggled to catch her breath as Nia continued her assault, lifting her up for a crushing Samoan drop. The crowd groaned in unison, feeling the pain Stratton must have felt as her body collided with the mat. Nia stood tall, her confidence growing as she dominated the match. The referee moved in to check on Stratton, but Tiffany waved him off, determined not to let the match end this way. With the crowd chanting her name, Tiffany slowly got back to her feet, her eyes burning with defiance. Nia moved in for the kill, attempting a corner splash to further weaken the champion. But Stratton, relying on her agility, rolled out of the way at the last second, causing Nia to crash into the turnbuckle. The momentum shift gave Tiffany a brief window, and she took it. Stratton quickly climbed the top rope and launched herself at Nia, delivering a missile dropkick that finally sent the powerhouse off her feet. The arena exploded in cheers as Stratton seized the moment. She followed up with a standing moonsault, her signature move, nailing Nia in the chest. But it wasn't enough to keep Jax down. She kicked out at 2, pushing Stratton off with such force that Tiffany flew halfway across the ring. The final moments, Tiffany knew she had to dig deep. Nia Jax was already stirring, getting to her feet, and Stratton needed something big to finish the job. She eyed the ropes, calculating her next move. With a burst of energy, Tiffany sprinted towards Nia, using the ropes for extra momentum as she hit a perfectly timed springboard corkscrew crossbody. This time, Nia was truly down. But just as Tiffany went for the pin, Nia powered out again at the 2 count, frustrating the champion. Stratton knew she needed to deliver a statement move to keep Jax down for good. She scaled the top rope once more, this time signaling for her finisher, the Starship Pain. She leapt high, flipping through the air with precision, but at the last second, Nia rolled out of the way. Tiffany crashed into the mat, the air driven from her lungs. Nia seized the opportunity, grabbing Tiffany and lifting her for the devastating Samoan drop. The crowd gasped as Nia planted Tiffany into the mat with authority. The bell rang, and Nia Jax was declared the new WWE Women's Champion. The crowd stood in awe of the sheer display of power as Nia held the championship high above her head. Tiffany Stratton had fought valiantly, but in the end, the unstoppable force of Nia Jax proved too much to overcome. Conclusion: the match was a testament to both women, Tiffany Stratton's resilience and strategy versus Nia Jax's sheer dominance. Though Tiffany lost her title, she earned the respect of the WWE Universe, proving that she belonged in the ring with the best. Meanwhile, Nia Jax's victory cemented her return as a force to be reckoned with in the women's division. Since Solo Sikoa took control of the bloodline after WWE WrestleMania XL, fans knew his version of the faction was heading for war with the original group. Sikoa built a formidable crew, bringing in Tama Tonga and Tongaloa before completing the puzzle with Jacob Fatu. They have repeatedly gotten the better of Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso. This has forced the elder Uso to seek the help of twin brother Jay, who will inevitably join the cause after Sikoa and company cost him the Intercontinental title. Then, it will only be a matter of time until Sami Zayn completes the puzzle, reuniting the original bloodline for a War Games battle. Survivor Series will be a memorable night for fans of the long-running storyline. At WWE Survivor Series 2024, the stage was set for one of the most personal and brutal showdowns in WWE history, Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa, each leading their respective bloodlines into battle. What had started as a close-knit family dynasty had fractured beyond repair, and the two Samoan warriors were now at the forefront of a war that threatened to tear their legacy apart. For months, tensions between Roman and Solo had simmered beneath the surface, with neither willing to bend. Solo had been a loyal enforcer for the tribal chief, backing Roman during some of the toughest moments of his reign. But over time, cracks had appeared. Solo was no longer content to stand in Roman's shadow. He wanted more respect, power, and recognition as an equal, if not superior, to his cousin. The build to Survivor Series had been dramatic. Roman, still calling himself the head of the table, had dismissed Solo's ambitions as foolish, warning him that anyone who defied the family hierarchy would be punished. Solo, however, refused to bow. With the memory of their late ancestors guiding him, Solo felt it was his time to step out of Roman's long shadow. The tension finally exploded at WWE SummerSlam 2024 when Solo turned on Roman after another controversial victory, leaving the champion battered and shocked. From that moment, the battle lines were drawn. Solo officially declared himself the leader of his own faction, a rogue bloodline that included some of the most dangerous men from their family lineage. Recruited from outside WWE, Solo had assembled a team of Samoan powerhouses who shared his vision of reclaiming their family's honor, which they believed Roman had tainted with his arrogance and manipulation. Meanwhile, Roman solidified his position as the undisputed leader of the original bloodline, including the loyal Paul Heyman and a roster of WWE's top stars who still followed his command. As Survivor Series approached, the stakes were raised even higher. It wasn't just about titles or bragging rights, this was a battle for control of their family's legacy. Roman, the reigning WWE Universal Champion, was fighting to keep his status as the tribal chief, the patriarch of their bloodline, and the leader of the WWE. Solo, on the other hand, was fighting to prove that the future of the family didn't belong to Roman but to him. In the weeks leading up to Survivor Series, WWE television was consumed by their rivalry. Roman, still manipulating the WWE landscape with his iron grip, taunted Solo at every opportunity. He claimed that Solo lacked the intelligence to lead and that he was nothing without Roman's guidance. Solo, however, fired back with intensity, refusing to be belittled. Every SmackDown and Raw featured brutal confrontations, backstage brawls, and intense promo segments that left fans on the edge of their seats. When Survivor Series 2024 finally arrived, the WWE Universe was buzzing. The event was being touted as one of the most anticipated pay-per-views in years, with fans eager to see which bloodline would reign supreme. The main event, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa leading their respective teams in a classic Survivor Series elimination match, was nothing short of a dream scenario. The arena was electric as Roman's team made their entrance first. The tribal chief walked down to the ring with the confidence of a man who had ruled WWE for years. Flanked by Paul Heyman and a hand-picked group of WWE's most formidable superstars, Roman looked ready for war. He held his Universal Championship high above his head, his cold eyes scanning the arena, daring anyone to question his authority. Then, Solo's music hit. The crowd erupted as the Samoan powerhouse marched to the ring, leading his rogue bloodline faction. Solo had an intensity about him that was impossible to ignore. While Roman projected cool control, Solo embodied raw fury. He had recruited some of the most physically imposing Samoan wrestlers the WWE Universe had ever seen, each one hungry to make a name for themselves by toppling the tribal chief. Solo's faction also included several rising WWE stars who had grown tired of Roman's dominance and saw Solo as the future. The match began with a ferocity that only family rivalries can bring. Each man fought as if his legacy depended on it, and in a way, it did. The eliminations came hard and fast, with both teams delivering brutal offense. Every time Roman stepped into the ring, he was met with a chorus of boos from the crowd, while Solo was cheered as the people's warrior. The storytelling in the ring was masterful. Roman and Solo exchanged brutal blows, but the drama went beyond physicality. This was a psychological battle, too. Roman, ever the manipulator, constantly taunted Solo, reminding him of their family's sacrifices and accusing him of betraying them. Solo, on the other hand, remained focused, refusing to be baited. He fought for something deeper, a future where the Samoan legacy was about respect, not Roman's ego. The eliminations left Roman and Solo as the final two competitors. The crowd roared as they faced off, two cousins ready to settle their score once and for all. Roman, exhausted but defiant, stared down Solo with the same confidence that had carried him through years of dominance. Solo, however, was unrelenting. He had waited too long for this moment. The final sequence of the match was a masterpiece of tension and drama. Roman hit Solo with everything he had, including multiple Superman punches and a devastating spear. But Solo refused to stay down. With the crowd firmly behind him, Solo rallied, delivering a series of bone-crushing Samoan drops and his signature spinning solo. The tide had turned, and for the first time in years, Roman Reigns looked vulnerable. In the end, it was Solo who emerged victorious. After a grueling battle, he hit Roman with a thunderous Samoan spike, leaving the tribal chief crumpled on the mat. The referee counted to 3, and it was over. Solo Sikoa had won, leading his bloodline to victory and, perhaps more importantly, cementing his place as the new leader of their family legacy. As Solo stood tall in the ring, looking down at Roman's fallen form, the WWE Universe knew they had witnessed the birth of a new era. Solo Sikoa was no longer just Roman's enforcer, he was now the tribal chief in his own right, and the future of their bloodline was in his hands.